I don't want to watch that. Hello. If anybody's watching, then they're not. I am just trying to pull up YouTube on my phone because that is how I'm seeing everybody's comments.
Easy cruising. Classic Victorian.
For some reason, I cannot view the comments on my computer. So, hey, Aquarius, how's it going? I look super tired today, so sorry about that. I went in the bathroom before I came on, and I was like, oh, damn, I got some bags under my eyes. So went and grabbed my Pepsi. I thought we would do like maybe an hour streaming and see who came on, and like if you guys wanted to chat, if you had any questions. Hey, Holly. Uh-oh, hold on. Let me know if you guys can see me, if it's showing up or not. I don't stream that often, so for some reason I'm like I haven't gone on and like really messed around with live streaming on YouTube. So can you see me at all? Hello? What I'm actually going to do really quick, give me 1 second. I'm just going to post in my group that I am live on YouTube streaming, so that way any of the women there want to watch, they can always come on and you know, hang out with us. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to post it in the group here. So what are you guys up to? What have you been up to this weekend? Was it a good weekend? Was it a boring weekend? Did you guys visit? Did you get any letters, phone calls, emails, any of that? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. And I haven't done a live streaming in forever either, so I kind of wanted to do that sometime this weekend. I've had like a ton of schoolwork that I've been working on, and yeah, that's pretty much like what I've been doing. I literally did schoolwork all day on Saturday, all day. Well, no, sorry, I take that back. It was all day Friday. It was all day Thursday or Friday. And then yesterday, like half of the day I did homework. And then today I spent like a couple hours doing homework. So not too bad. Okay, so let me get back on here so I can see your comments. Okay. Hey, Amina, how's it going? Okay, cool. I was just making sure that you guys could see me clearly. Hey, Cookies with milk. Thank you, my dear. I've gotten in like the habit of pinning them back when they get like too long, you know what I mean? Like doing like the big bump bang thing going on. But I thought I got to shower, wash my hair, got out of the shower, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try and like get them to like work with me in the right direction. So, and my dogs constantly go back and forth in my room. They like come in and then the door like closes, so they lock themselves in my room. And so if I have to get up, it's because of that. Let's see. And Amina, thank you. Like, I don't know. I've had so many people lately tell me that. Like, they're like, you're a motivation and like, you know, you're awesome and you're so positive. And it means a lot when you guys say that. It really does, because I'm just a optimistic person by nature, I think. But it's crazy like for people to say that like I'm an inspiration, because I never thought of myself that way at all. So it's kind of crazy. And this group has like grown a lot. I was thinking back, and I remember when there was like 100 people, and like when I got to 100 people, my friend Brittany, I told her, and I was like, oh my God, we got 100 subscribers. And she was like, wow, she's like, that's cool. And then it got to like 200, and then it got to like 400, and now it's like over 800. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it'll be cool to get to like that 1,000 subscriber mark. And I think I'm going to do some sort of a giveaway when I get to 1,000 members for sure, just to show you guys appreciation, you know, for sticking around, even for those times that it's been like, you know, 2 weeks or like a month without any sort of update. Hold on 1 second. I have to open the door and let the dog out. Murphy, you're staying out there the whole time. Sorry. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Anyway, Boston Terriers, kind of crazy. They're like kids, I swear. I'm just gonna make sure you guys can actually see me. The last comment that I see is "you rock the bangs." For some reason, like my laptop, I need to have a friend come over and like take a look at it and show me how I can go do a live stream and like see the comments on my laptop because they never show up, and I had some like technical thing, and I am pretty technically savvy, but not that technically savvy. So, oh, okay, there we go. Um, my fiance and I are going through some time right now. I'm hoping for the best. How long do you guys have left, Amina? And how long has he been in for? Hey, Diamond. My boyfriend has the same kind of case yours does. He was convicted at 18 and he is 28. We're trying to get his case overturned. Have you guys started the process, Diamond, for like petitioning for a resentencing at all? And what state are you located in? So Kevin is doing really good. I talked to him. He called me this morning. It was like 11ish. And then I talked to him about 2. I want to say he called back at 2. Yeah, we usually talk twice a day. If you guys watched all my videos, you know, like I did a video on budgeting, like phone calls and stuff. And so we've always stuck with like early morning or like a morning phone call and like a night phone call. He calls me later in the morning because I have really bad insomnia and he's always scared he's going to wake me up if he calls me in the morning. But no, he called me about 2. We were just kind of like BSing and we were talking about the holidays and stuff like that. And I told him I might go to his family's for the holidays, so like for Thanksgiving. So he was actually happy. He was excited about that. He said yay. I never hear him say yay. It's kind of funny. Um, I'm just gonna read through the comments and I'll go back and answer them if I missed it, if I didn't answer anybody's. So you're in Florida. Florida, I know, is like one of the hardest states to like they don't have parole. Like we don't have parole either. But I know from Kevin telling me, like he said, Florida's probably like one of the hardest states. Especially to get laws passed and that sort of thing. Cookies with or milk. I'm in California and he's in Chickawa. Okay, I'm originally from California. I'm originally from Sacramento and I grew up in Redding and Sacramento, so I'm definitely familiar with California. Um, we have a lawyer, but we are in the beginning process. Yeah, the process. Sorry, guys. Surgery on my neck, so I'm taking pain meds, and I'm weird. I chew up my pain medication because I feel like it gets rid of the pain quicker than if I were just to swallow a tablet. I know, I'm weird. But I've been on these pain meds for so long, it's like not even a thing to me. So, I remember starting researching the case like right after I met Kevin, and we've known each other like 3.5 years. I want to say like 3 months in, May, 5, 6, 7, 8, August of 2014, I started researching lawyers, and I started working with our lawyer probably like that winter. And we went back and forth in emails a lot. He was trying to get information from me. We hadn't retained him yet. And yeah, so we just started that process probably the winter, like, yeah, around this time of 2014. So we've been working on this for like 3 years. God, the first year was the worst, you guys. Because it was me, he wanted me to do, you know, he's like, if you do all the legwork, you know, we'll do it for this amount of money. So I did all the legwork, and it was like calling the courthouse and like calling his old lawyers and like trying to get like his old transcripts and getting support letters and like literally like everything that you could think of. So I was working full time at the time, and every time I would take a break, I'd like get on the phone and I'd try and get through to somebody at the courthouse. Or every time I was on break, I was trying to like, I had a list of things that I would do and like try and get all this stuff accomplished during the day, you know, because by the time I got off work, it was 4 o'clock and nobody would be there. It was after business hours and it was crazy. So crazy. I'm just reading through here. Mina, he's been in for 2 years and they still haven't decided, but they're saying 15 or 10. It's just scary thinking about it. Just hoping for the best. He's depressed and always down. Yeah, that's the hard thing. So I don't have any experience with like the whole like them like feeling depressed, like seeing them depressed or anything like that. Because Kevin had already been in for like 10 years by the time I met him. He'd already gone through failed appeals. So I think he never got his hopes up after that. You know what I mean? Because he'd already gone through all these failed appeals. So by the time I got to him, he never let himself get that way. So since we've started this resentencing process, he just was like quiet, I think, if he wasn't confident about something. He wasn't never like depressed or anything like that. And then now that his sentence got overturned, like, it's crazy. Like sometimes I forget that, we won because we're still going through the Supreme Court process. But like, and then I keep reminding myself, oh my God, like, yeah, we actually won. Like, he got his sentence overturned. Like, he is going to get resentenced. It's, it's just the court process through the Supreme Court that we're working on now. And that's only because the prosecutor is pissed off and she doesn't want him to get resentenced because she knows it's going to affect all these other people. And so she's like doing whatever she has to do to like try and get that decision reversed. That's all we're doing right now is we're in the court because the prosecutor wants his case to be reviewed by the Supreme Court. And so now we're waiting to decide if they want to review it or if the Supreme Court is like, nah, we don't want to, like, we don't need to review it, and they throw it out. And Kevin said 90% of the time, I think it is, they decide not to review it. So we're hoping that is what they tell us on December 7th is when they decide on it. And then so like December 8th is when like we actually get an answer. So that's when we'll be finding out. But yeah, knowing you have like 10 to 15 years is scary, and it's like a life-changing thing. And when I met Kevin, so it's different because we met while he was incarcerated. So I knew he had like 15 years left. So I knew what I was getting myself into. But it kind of hit me after we'd been together, like probably a good year. And then like one day it just hit me. I was like, oh my God, like we've got 15 years. Like that's a lot of time. And I had my meltdowns, and I did. In fact, I had a meltdown like a couple weeks ago. It was horrible. It was really horrible. But yeah, it's it's a lot of time. I mean, I thought about it and I was like, oh my gosh, if he does his whole time, I'm going to be like 50 years old by the time he gets out. And that's crazy to me to think that I would have been 50 by the time that he got out of prison. Is it expensive to have a lawyer where you are? So it just depends. Like some lawyers are super expensive and some lawyers are pretty reasonable. Our lawyer, I think he charged like 5 grand, I want to say. Um, and that's just to start the process and all of that. But if somebody has already filed resentencing and like we have, it's like this big case and other people are going after them and like filing for the same thing, um, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Like I heard that he only charges like $500 or something like that. Um, I think 500 to 1,000 or something like that for other people in Washington that are trying to go off of our case, because pretty much they're just hiring a lawyer to like file that paperwork and to argue for them when they go to court to be resentenced. Yes, it's hard here. Me and him have been together for 16 months, and I have been on his case too, but we finally got a lawyer. I was going all of his legal work as well. Yeah, it's a lot of work for sure. I think the thing that sucks is like Florida, like they don't have family visits there. Like a lot of states don't have it. And they don't have parole. I think they sentence a lot harder there, like they do here in Washington. I just read they have 3,000 people in Washington state have life sentences. Like, and that's so crazy to me. I know one of Kevin's friends has like, I think he said it was like a 200-year sentence. Like, what is the point in even giving a 200-year sentence? I never understood that. My boyfriend has 3 failed appeals and has been locked up for 9 years. Yeah, so Kevin will be 15 years in February, but yeah, he like exhausted all of his appeals. So this pretty much was like his last chance as far as like being able to get out early. Where like commutation we thought about, but like we would have never been eligible for commutation, just because they're super picky about everything. Pardon, no. We wouldn't have been eligible for anything. Resentencing is the only thing. And then this whole brain science thing came out and we're like, oh, like this is perfect. You were 19 years old. You were very like immature, like you acted very impulsively, and you had all these things to back up the impulsiveness. So that yeah, we got I shouldn't say lucky, but I think everything just happened, like, at the right time. The first 6 months, it was hard. I knew my boyfriend has 25 years, but it didn't hit me until 6 months in. Yeah, it's crazy, like, I'm one of those people who, like, when something traumatic happens, it doesn't affect me right then and there, but, like, later on down the line, and then just, like, one day, like, it'll hit me, and I'll be like, "Fuck." Sorry, didn't mean to curse. And praying for good and outcomes. I still have a meltdown, and it's been 2 years. Oh, I mean, I still have meltdowns, and it's been 3.5 years for us. I call it, like, the 6 month what was I calling it the other day? I forgot. I had this funny ass name for it, but I call it, like, the 6-month meltdown because generally it's, like, every 6 months, give or take a little bit, um, I'll have a meltdown where, like, I will just break down crying, I'll get super emotional, and it's about stuff that I've known since the beginning. It's just super crazy. I think it's just, like, I hold it all in for so long. Praying for good, you still your outcomes. Um, he's 26, I'm 24. Yeah, but you never know. I mean, like, a lot of stuff a lot of bills come about and, legislation changes over time, so there's a chance he might not have to do all that much time. I'm 38, and I mean, even if Kevin gets, like, 3 years, which we're thinking is, like, the most that he would get, I'll be, like, 41, when he gets out, and he's 4 years younger than me. So he would be, like, what, 38, 37? Math is, like, my worst subject. Um Yeah, they only have family visits in California, Washington, Connecticut, and in New York. California, once you're married, you don't have to wait a certain amount of time. It just depends on, when they're available. Washington, you have to wait 3 years once you get married if they were incarcerated, and 3 years is a long wait. And then once that 3 years comes, then you have to get approved for them, and that can take anywhere from like a month to like 8 months or something like that. I've heard of people waiting a long time. New York, I'm not really sure about. I know it's like 2-day trailer visits. You definitely have to be married, and I don't know if they have a time frame there. But in Connecticut, I heard that you actually have to have kids. They have to have kids before they were incarcerated in order to get their family visits. So, um, no cookies and milk. We don't get ours. Well, we won't get them for a while. Our anniversary though is on Wednesday, so we'll have been married for 3 years. I'm excited about that. Hey, nail addiction, how are you doing tonight? My boyfriend has been in for 26 years. Wow. Have been, wait, how long have you been with him for? Denied 7 times. Denied what? Denied parole? Wait, denied 7 times. Oh, wow. Just got granted parole. Waiting for 150 days. So they make you wait 150 days after they grant parole? What is that? 6, 5, 4, 4 months? 5 months. 5 months. Um, no, you guys are definitely not alone. I should have come on YouTube and streamed. So I know I always mention that I have a support group, Secret Life of a Prison Wife on Facebook with my friend Elle. Um, I went live in our Facebook group the day that I had a meltdown. Like, I literally cried in front of, like, all of these women, and it was disgusting, it was sad, and yeah, it was crazy. But sometimes I feel, like, super sad. I'll be going through something, and my first instinct is to, like, go live in the group because they're like I have so many good friends that are in the group that I talk to on a daily basis, and they give the best advice, and they're really comforting, and it's nice to be able to have that support to talk to them. I have been with my husband for a year and a half, 3.5 years. We've been married for 3 years on this coming Wednesday, and he has been incarcerated for 15 years. It'll be 15 years on February 8th. So I consider like 3.5 years a long time. I mean, I think it's pretty lengthy amount of time. Um, Sometimes I feel like it's gone by super quick. Other times I feel like his time is like standing still, and I'm like staring at the clock. 1 year with him? Well, my dear, you came at the perfect time. If he's been in for 26 years and you've only been with him a year and he just got granted parole, you came at the perfect time. I had a friend, well, it was another prison wife. Her name was Olivia. And I remember when I first got into the groups talking to her, and she had just, I think she was like, she met her boyfriend like 6 months after I met Kevin. But he had done like 15 years and he had like a year left, I think. I want to say a year left, like when they got together. And I was like, I am so jealous. Like, you came at like the perfect time. He's done like 99% of his time. You have to literally have to wait a year, or no, it was 99. But you guys understand, I'm horrible at math. She literally had to wait a year, and she came at the very end of his sentence. And I was just like, how did you time that like so perfectly? That's so crazy. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Amina. Yeah, 3 years. It sucks because it's the middle of the week. It's not on a visiting day, so I'm not going to see him, but I'll be able to talk to him on the phone. So you have to be grateful, for those the little, um, things that we have to be thankful for, like letters and phone calls and, all that good stuff. That's crazy. 150 days, I would be going insane. Although I kind of am because our court date is in like what, 3 weeks? No, like 2.5 weeks. And we find out a decision from the Supreme Court for sure. And like it's like 2 weeks and 4 days or something like that. Oh, that's awesome. So you guys are like super close to us on when it comes to like your anniversary. Yeah, so we met. God, I think the first YouTube video I did was like about like how we met and stuff like that, I want to say. But we met in May of 2014. I was living in Tennessee, he's in Washington. I ended up moving back to Washington in August, so 3 months later. And then 3 months, and so I met him in person in August. And then 3 months after that, we got married. So it was super quick, 6 months from like start to finish, 3 months from when I met him from start to finish. 3.5 years is a long time, especially when you're separated. It is. Luckily, Diamond, though, we've had really regular like visits, in person visit, contact visits. So I think that definitely helps a lot when you have that physical contact, being able to hold hands and like hug and give them a kiss and that sort of thing. It's definitely hard when you just have phone calls and letters and Jpay, if you guys have Jpay. Um, and I understand, like I've gone with no visits, and it's hard. It really is difficult. Hey, Sonia, how are you doing? It hasn't ever even been sentenced. I love him so much, but his attorney is thinking he will do 6 years. Wait, but so much can happen. How long have you guys been together for, I bet? 6 years, though? Honestly, like we've been together 3.5, and it really has gone by really quick, but I've done things to make it that way. Like I am pretty organized when it comes to certain things. And I knew that if I kept myself busy, that it would make time go by quick, as opposed to like sitting home and doing nothing. So like working right now, I'm not because of my neck, but when I go back to work, I'll be working full time. I'm in school full time. 2 Boston Terriers. Don't have any kids, so that's can't use that as an excuse. But and then obviously like visiting, and I mean just my time is consumed with your time is consumed when you add all of those things together. Like you literally have no time left over except for maybe an hour to like watch TV at night or something. Thank you guys. Yeah, last time, God, my hair was purple at one point, and then the purple was fading like really quick, so I wanted to cover it up. So I went and I covered up, and it was like a darker with like an auburn color. I put that on my hair, and within like 2 weeks, I think I didn't put 2 boxes, I put 1 box. Within 2 weeks, it was like almost a red, like a brassy, like orangish red color. And I was like, yeah, nope, I'm not doing that. And you probably see it in the last couple videos that I did. And then I decided just to go for like the blackest of the black and put 2 boxes of it on there. So it's actually like stayed really well. I don't know, like the lighting in here, but it almost looks like a black blue color in person. So the girl, I had her cut off a couple inches just because you get dead ends, and it's actually still really long. So I had made a promise with Kevin a long time ago that it was a stupid like pinky promise, but I promised him that I would not cut my hair an extreme amount. Like I wouldn't cut it to my shoulders. I would like keep it long, as much length as possible until he got out. So I am abiding by my promise and not cutting my hair. And that's why I've been dyeing it so much, because I've been going crazy and been bored with it. So I went through the whole bang thing, and I actually like the bangs like way better than what I had before. And I like the dark hair. I'm like, it's winter time. I'm kind of like in a dark hair mood. Hold on a second. Hello, Laura. How are you doing? I'm just going through comments here, guys. I did not meet my boyfriend face to face until 8 months in, and I've only been to visit him 3 times. He is 7 hours away from me. Wow, that's quite a ways. See, I've always lived like at least 2 hours from him. As soon as I moved back to Washington and I met him in person, I was like in Spokane, and he was about 2 hours away. So I would still go every weekend. And then I moved to the town the prison was in for a year. And then we moved out here, and we've been here almost 2 years, and I'm about an hour and 45 minutes from where he's at. And I moved out there, so I was like 30 minutes. I was a lot closer to him. So I was joking with like some of the girls in the group, and I was like, I'm like the traveling prison wife. Wherever he goes, I end up moving. But I do that on purpose because I wanted to be able to visit him like as much as possible. Because I really do think it is important to be able to, have that contact. I think it brings you guys closer, like in a relationship, having that, contact if it's available to you. Always keep yourself busy. Schoolwork is all I do. What are you going to school for, Amina? Yeah. And of course, prison wives, like the main thing, I always joke about it, but it's so true, is I carry my phone with me literally everywhere I go. Bathroom, phone. Go take a shower, keep it in the bathroom with me. Go to the mailbox, have my phone on me. It literally goes everywhere with me. Thank you, Amina. I appreciate it. My hair is pretty thick. Yeah, I've never had problems with it being dry or anything like that, so I've gotten lucky in that department. And sorry for the lighting in here, you guys. My room is like the worst lit room ever. I have pretty like bright. Uh-oh. What did I do, Tammy? Sorry. I have a touch screen, so it's super sensitive. But I have a pretty bright light right there, and then I've got that star in the corner, and the star is very, very dim. My room is an absolute, not a mess, but I just have a lot of stuff and nowhere to put it. Yeah. So I have that light over there, and that's just to like add some light to the video. If I didn't have that, it would be like pitch black pretty much. Okay, let me read your comments. Seriously though, staying busy, absolutely, like that's the number one thing that I always tell like anybody that asks me, because a lot of like new girls that come into the group on Facebook, they always ask me like, what would you suggest, that I do to like keep busy, or hobbies or anything like that. And I always say like work on stuff that's going to help you when he gets out. Like I filed bankruptcy because I needed to work on my credit because I had so much medical debt. And I did that August, like everything went through, because it takes about 4 months. And my credit is up already. It's up to like, it was like 550. It's up to like 620 now or something like that. Got a credit card, and I have my husband's name on it. He had no credit from being 19 when he went in. His credit is higher than mine is now, just from adding him to my credit card. So yeah, it's crazy. But those are the sort of things that totally help. And they're things that like, they're going to help you when he gets out. You know what I mean? Because if you want to buy a house, if you want to get a home loan, any of that, you have to have at least a 620 credit score. Bankruptcy, once you file it, you have to wait 2 years to get a home loan, and that's for an FHA loan, but 2 years, like I know he's going to probably be in for at least 2 years. So I know by the time he gets out, then we'll be able to buy a house. My phone is with me at all times. Yeah, totally. I'm going to school for dentistry. I've been going for almost 5 months now. Right on. Are you going to be a dental assistant, or are you going to be like a dental hygienist, or are you going to be a dentist? Like what specialty are you going for? I actually have a lot of friends that work in the dental industry. The dental industry. Sorry, guys. Acting super weird on non-caffeinated Pepsi. And you can hear the dogs in the background probably. So they're brothers, and they do this thing where they like, we call it the mouth thing, like their mouths, like they're playing, not like they're biting each other, but like one will bite the other's ear and then the other will bite the other's leg. And it's super funny, but one of them gets super, super vocal. Like he is just so loud. I work full time in school full time. Don't want to miss a call at all. Dental assistant, right on. Yeah, that's cool. I am I was going to a community college here for drug and alcohol counseling, and I went there for a year. And then I just transferred. This is my first quarter at the new school, but I transferred to Eastern Washington University, which is a really well-known university it's like a 4-year college, for a normal like state university in Washington. And it's kind of nerve-wracking because I've never been a school person. Like when I was in high school and stuff, I was horrible at it. And I don't know, as I've gotten older, it's stuff that I'm interested in. So I was like, why not try it? And Kevin actually was the one that motivated me to go back to school because I wasn't going to. But this quarter, I am taking African American history, which is awesome. Like I have like a 90, I was just looking at my score. I have like a 99.79% in that class. It is super interesting to me. There's so much stuff that I didn't know. And it's crazy. It is super crazy, but it's super interesting to me. I'm taking a cultural diversity class, which is part of my curriculum for drug and alcohol counseling. And I am taking an English 201 class, which is a nightmare. No, it's not horribly bad, but our final is a 12 essay. I am horrible at writing essays, especially in English classes. Specifically having, you have to have that format or, exactly right, and MLA, APA, all of that. I'm doing it on like the effect that Facebook and social media has on young people, youth, you know what I mean? Like how there's not that face-to-face communication like there was back in the day. And I say that like I'm old. Thank you, my dear. So yeah, I'm doing good. I have an 85% in my English class, 99 in my history class, and I have like a 98% in my cultural diversity class. So I'm hoping that I do good on my English final. I have to turn it in next Friday, I want to say, and then I'll be done with that class. And then the only difference is you have to get a 3.0 to pass. Is it a 3.0? 2.0 maybe? A 3.0. I think it's a 3.0. You need a 3.0 to pass the class at the university level, which is way different than community college. It was 2.0. So I've been like calculating out like what I need in order to like pass those classes. And then I register actually tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for winter quarter. And I am taking a psychology class on personalities, which I am super excited about. I've already taken lifespan, abnormal, and general psych. So that just adds another psych class to the list. I'm taking a class on co-occurring disorders and assessments for my chemical dependency stuff. And then I'm taking a class on, what was the other one, Tammy? Physiology and pharmacology. So it talks about different drugs and like the reaction that your body has to drugs. So that one is interesting, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of work. Anyway, sorry for boring you guys. Do you guys have any questions about the prison wife lifestyle, like visiting, getting married in prison? Red flags, relationship stuff, fighting while he's inside, how to deal with a fight while he's incarcerated. That was like one of the big ones for me because we never fought until this time last year. We had like our first big fight, and it's like been like really the only fight that we've ever had. Um, and it lasted like 3 days. It actually lasted quite a while. I'm not gonna go into detail about it because it's stupid, but it really wasn't stupid, but it was stupid. But it kind of was one of those things where we had to agree to disagree to like move past it and like get over that hill. And all I will tell you is this: if you're fighting, do not hang up. Do not hang up on each other, because you can't call him back. And do not answer the phone, because that was the mistake that I made. Was he's not listening to me. He doesn't understand. He's not trying to like understand. So I'm pissed. I'm not going to answer his calls. I didn't answer his calls for like 2 days. My friend Elle was like, she's the one that she's like, maybe just don't answer one of his calls. But I took it to a whole other extreme. I was like, I didn't answer his calls for like 2 days, to the point where like he thought something happened to me. And then when he realized that I did it on purpose, yeah, it got really bad. And then I ended up emailing him because I couldn't talk to him over the phone, because we were so pissed at each other. And then that's when we just like agreed to disagree, because it started making everything a lot worse than it made things better. My father don't want him to parole to my house. Oh my goodness. Let me talk about some family. So my mom, so there was a chance that Kevin could get an appellate bond. So sorry guys, my voice is like just went like all raspy, weird. But there's a chance that he could have gotten, there still is a chance he'd get an appellate bond, which means that they can release him to like me. They're gonna release him to me. Yeah, they might release him to me. Um, and then we would have to pay, like, say, $3,000. We'd pay $300. So you pay 10%, just like any other bail. Um, right now, though, I don't have my own place. I had surgery done, so I moved back in with my mom. Um, so everything was fine. Um, and then she put on a stipulation. Sorry, I don't want her to hear me. She put on a stipulation saying that he were to stay here, he would need to do counseling. Um, and being a counselor, I don't feel like that is the right way to go about things. Just because, what is the point? Like, if somebody doesn't want help, just like drugs and alcohol, somebody doesn't want help, they're not going to benefit from counseling or any sort of treatment, if they're forced to do it. You know what I mean? Like, say he gets out and he realizes, oh my gosh, I'm institutionalized. Like, I've been in prison for 15 years. I need some help. Like, I need some counseling. Or maybe, he realizes he's going to have trouble talking to me or opening up to me, which we like talk to each other about everything. But if that were the case, you know what I mean? Or like, say he couldn't talk to me about like how he felt about being out in public. Like, maybe it made him nervous, or something like that. And he realized that on his own. Then totally, like, yeah, at that point, totally get counseling, totally, go to a psychologist or psychiatrist or whoever you need to talk to about it. But if I were just to be like, okay, a stipulation on you getting out is that you have to go to counseling, like, I feel like I sound like any other correctional officer that has told him that for the last 15 years. Hi, women of the past. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in Northern California? I'm from Northern California originally. I'm from Sacramento and Redding, if you know where that is. He's on his program and he's been there for 18 months or 18 years. In Missouri, what the heck? She needs to relax. Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel really strongly about, when it comes to counseling, that it should be something that the person decides their self that they need help with. Um, because I've talked to people that have been forced to be there through like the courts or CPS or a family member, and they don't open up. They sit there and like they nod at me, and I have to like pull teeth to get them to like answer questions. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And if you guys are wondering, I'm looking at my phone because I have I don't know if you can see it. All of your guys' comments on there. Because I am not super I'm pretty technologically savvy, but for some reason the group chat doesn't pop up on my laptop, so I can't just look at it. So I'm kind of sad. There's only 7 people on here. I thought there would be more people. There's over 800 subscribers, but that's okay. I think I definitely need to go live or do, not Facebook Live, a YouTube live like earlier in the day, because a lot of people are on the East Coast and it's late right now. It's like 10:40 on the East Coast. Are there days when he is down and it's hard to bring him up? Honestly, Amina, I don't have that problem. Kevin is literally the most like positive person in prison that I've ever met in my life. If anything, like he tries to like get me like all positive and stuff when I go through like days where, I'm like kind of depressed, or like today I was just kind of, or not today, it was yesterday, I think. I was like, I hadn't slept that well. And so I was really irritable, and he didn't call me till later. And I was like, I thought you were gonna call in the morning. And he's like, I didn't get your email. And I was like, yeah, I guess, whatever. I was kind of irritated, but it lasted like 2 minutes and then I was fine. I was just kind of irritable, but no, I love it. I mean, I'd much rather have somebody that's optimistic than that's depressed. But from my group, my Facebook group, I've heard a lot of women talking about how they're really down and like kind of depressed now. And I think it's because of the weather. A lot of women have said that in the winter time and like in the fall when it's going into winter, and then when the weather gets a lot worse, when it's rainy and snowy and just like cold outside, um they tend to be, yeah, more down and like more depressed. And I think as the holidays come too, it's probably harder for them as well because they're not able to spend the holidays with us. So um I could see how that would be depressing. I just started following about 3 weeks ago and I really enjoy your videos. They help me emotionally. I am so glad that they help you. I'm so glad that they help anybody. I really honestly just started this channel and I started the video to kind of like just like journal our situation that we were going through with resentencing, and to kind of connect with like other women that had a loved one that was incarcerated. And I honestly didn't think that I would get that many subscribers on this channel. So for it to like grow as much as it has, I mean, it's amazing, but it's also sad, because then it makes me realize like how many people are incarcerated in this country and like all over the world. I mean, there's so many people. And yeah, some people do deserve to be incarcerated, but there's a lot of people that don't. People that are in there for drug, addiction. Maybe they had a theft, like a robbery or a theft or something like that when they were on drugs. Um, they definitely should be in some sort of drug and alcohol treatment. I don't think they should spend 10 years in prison or 50 years in prison. I know somebody in my group, I think she said that her fiance is looking at 20 years for drug crimes. My friend, one of my admins, her boyfriend, he got like, how much time did he get? 5 years, I want to say, 5 or 6 years, for a marijuana charge. Yeah, so it's crazy. It is so crazy. The system is so messed up, and I know it's going to take a lot of time to rebuild it. I know a lot of states are starting to work on rebuilding the prison system, the prison reform, but yeah, it's crazy. Woman of the past, I will definitely send you a link. What part of California are you from? Hold on one second. I Hold on a second. I'm gonna get my link on Facebook and I'm gonna link it to the comment section here, okay? So that way I can share the Facebook group with you guys. Because I would love all of you guys, if you're not already in our group, to be a part of it because it's amazing. We have like no, I was going to say 3,000. We have over 1,000 women in there from all over. The majority of them are from the United States, but the most 90% of them, 95% of them are women that are they could be from England, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, wherever. But they usually have their significant other is in the United States. There's a few where their significant other is in another country and they're in another country, but the majority of them are in the United States. Like probably 99% of them are in the US. So let me go ahead and share this. Hold on 1 second, guys, and then I'll go back to your comments. I just can't look at the comments. Okay. I am copying, copy to clipboard. Okay, let me go back to YouTube. Yeah, I gotta get the group chat fixed on here so I can do more streamings with you guys. Okay, so I'm back. I'm gonna try and paste the Facebook group in here. Yay! I think it worked, you guys. Okay, woman of the past. Go ahead and check out that link. And we asked like 3 questions, like, do you have a loved one do you have a significant other that's incarcerated? Would you be able to show verification, like the envelope of a letter you've received or a picture from visiting, just so we know that you're not a correctional officer trying to get information or like an ex-girlfriend or something like that. Or you're not somebody just trying to cause drama. And those are really the only questions that we ask. And then we like add you into the group. How does my family feel about me being married to someone incarcerated? Oh my goodness, let's talk about this. I remember like it was yesterday. Okay. So my mom was actually staying with me in Spokane, and I had not told her about Kevin at all. Like she helped me move from Chattanooga back to Washington. Yeah, back to Washington. Kevin and I had planned getting married. Like we'd already started the marriage process. I had not told her. And I think she said something to me like, so who are you dating? And I was like, oh, I think I was talking to her about Kevin. I just didn't tell her like where he was at or anything like that. And it was pretty funny. And so finally I was just like, all right, Kevin is in prison. And then I told her about like how much time he had, why he was in there, like a little bit more about his crime. So she understood everything. Um, and then she got on his visiting list and she went with me to the prison to visit him. So she was able to meet him face to face and see that he was a really good guy and, he's a smart guy and like he just was a normal person, that made a bad mistake when he was young and did a lot of time. So my mom was actually, I had it backwards. I thought my dad would be more understanding and my mom wouldn't, but my mom was really understanding. Um, Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to finish answering this and then I'll go back to the comments. So now let's go to my dad. I called my dad. I told him after we got married that I got married. And I hadn't told him that I was talking to anybody in prison or anything. And my dad raised me for the majority of my life. So I've always had a really good, strong connection with him. And he's in Northern California. He's in Redding. And so I called my dad and I'm talking to him. And then my dad never told me actually until after he got married too, because him and his wife went to Vegas, I believe, and got married. And so I was kind of just used that as an excuse. I was like, well, you didn't tell me. And so then he asked about him. And I said, so I just want to let you know that I got married and, my husband is in prison. And he asked why he was in there. And I told him he has a charge for second-degree murder. And I told him about the situation. And I said this was, at that time it was like 11 years ago. And he got a 28-year sentence. And I just remember my dad being like, quiet, because my dad gets super quiet, like I do when I'm upset. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, I just never thought that my daughter would marry somebody in prison, let alone somebody that committed murder. And just him like saying that out loud, like just made it real, I guess. It just sounded really bad. And that was it. And it took my dad like a good year for him to really come to accept the fact that my husband wasn't like a serial killer, I guess, like a horrible person. Um, that what he did was, a lifetime ago and he was a different person and he's not a violent person now. He's not, and he wasn't even a violent person then. It was just, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about his crime, but yeah, it's just, that's how my dad reacted to that situation. Like I said, it took about a year for him to come to grips with the situation. And now, like when I talked to him on the phone, he actually asked me about his case, and because he knows that I've been working on it for a long time, and he knows that we've been working on resentencing, so he'll ask what's going on with that, and he knows that we're getting close to, him getting resentenced. So I don't, it's not like he's excited about it, but I feel like we've made a lot of progress in the last 3.5 years. Okay. Where is he at? So Cookies with Milk. He is in Washington State, and the prison is Stafford Creek, which is in Aberdeen, Washington. If you guys listen to any alternative music, Kurt Cobain, who was the lead singer of Nirvana, yeah, he was from Aberdeen as well. So it's a pretty crappy town. Sorry if anybody is from Aberdeen and I hurt your feelings, but it really is a really bad town. I actually moved out there to be closer to him, and I moved back because it was so bad. But I mean, that wasn't really the only reason, but I mean, it just added to it, I guess. And they have a whole area. In most large cities, they have like a homeless area, right? Where they call it like tent city. And where I worked at, like behind there, it was like under this large bridge, and it was right by the water. There were just tents like lined up like a mile or 2 miles like down this area. Um, and I felt like it was an area where like a bunch of RVs probably would have parked if those tents weren't there. But it was just like, imagine 2 miles of that, just tent after tent after tent. And I walked down there with one of my coworkers, and he showed it to me when I first moved out there. And I was just amazed at how bad it was, because that town is not big. It's a small town, but there's just so much of a homeless population, a lot of mentally ill people that are homeless in that area. It's just really sad. It's a really depressed area, and there's not a lot of jobs. There used to be a lumber mill in that area, and shout out to Josie. She made $125 at work tonight. Josie is one of my admins in the group. Sorry, she posted on Facebook and I got the notification. But yeah, Aberdeen is a really small town, and for them to have that much of a homeless population is absolutely horrible. It's literally like night and day. Once it gets dark there, it's a completely different area. It's scary. Like, I would make sure that I was home before it got dark. That's how bad it is. Okay. I sent the information on Facebook. Cool. Yeah, so we'll check it out, and then we'll add you as soon as we get the verification. So yeah. So what have you guys been doing this weekend? Did any of you guys go visit or do anything fun? Hold on a second. I'm gonna tell my admins on YouTube. All right. Sorry, guys. Sunday at 9 a.m. So you went to visit this morning? Okay. My friend Josie's super funny. She's like, I said, I just shouted you out on YouTube while I was streaming. And she's like, wait, she's like, how long are you gonna be streaming? She's like, I'm on my way home now. She's like, I want to watch. She's super cool. She's been a prison wife. And I hate using that term sometimes because it like puts us into a category or whatever, you know what I mean? But her boyfriend has been in for over a year now, and he is on a federal case. And yeah, and she has like 2021. I think he has like 3 years left. Nope, 2 years. I think under 3 years left. Yeah, I think it's like 2 years and 11 months or something like that. Talk to your lady strong. Keep your head out when you're all queens waiting for kings. Amina, if you're not in the group, definitely go ahead and click on the link and join our Facebook support group, because it is like a really large group. We have over 1,000 women in there, and it's super active all the time. We're going to start doing giveaways and maybe some raffles here soon. for beauty products. And me and my friend Elle just ordered those. I don't know if you guys have seen the mystery boxes that a lot of YouTubers are buying and opening. We just both bought one and we like went live in the group and did it. And it was actually really fun. And we both actually got really decent boxes. There was no garbage or hair in our box. It was pretty funny. Oh, yeah, I am so in love with my husband as well. And I love it because I'd never been in a relationship. Like, obviously, I'm married, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just a very different relationship than any that I'd ever been in the past. And it makes me question if I was ever in love with like any of my exes. Because I think about how much love that I have for my husband, and I'm just like, it just like increases every day, and all the time. And I never had that like with any of my exes at all. Um, and it's just a completely different kind of relationship. Like we literally tell each other everything. Like he's my best friend. Um, I get excited when the phone rings, and it's been over 3.5 years since we've been together. So it's pretty awesome. Cookies with milk? You better join my support group because, yeah, we can help you if that's something that you want to do. If you want to be honest with your family and let them know. I mean, there's a lot of women in there that they haven't told their families, and then there's a lot that have. I think it really just depends on like the dynamic that you have with your family. Um, like if they're really judgmental, or if that's going to cause them to like, say not talk to you, like is that going to cause a big issue with your family? It's because today is Sunday. I thought you meant like this morning you had a visit, but next Sunday. Okay, that's cool. I'm so happy for you guys. I did not have visiting today, but I get to talk to my husband 3 times today, so that's always something to be happy for. And I got one email from him today too. Sundays, like we have Wi-Fi email where he's at. So if he sends me an email, it usually goes through within like 20 minutes, and then the same thing when I send him an email. But Sundays is usually slower for them to like process it through. Oh my goodness. I'm on live YouTube, Odin. You got to be careful. Thank you. They're like little scavengers. I promise. You guys want to see them? Okay. Let's see. Let's see the boys. This is Murphy. He's a Boston. They're both Boston. And this is Odin. See, Odin's got his cute little birthmark. Let's see if we can find it. Where's your birthmark at, Odin? Did it disappear? No. It's right there. There's his birthmark. But anyways, this is Ode. He definitely looks like a Boston. Murphy looks more like he's part Pitt or something like that because he's so solid. But guys, not in here. You got to go out there if you're going to play. Anyway, those are my babies. Hey, no. You want a treat? You better be good. You lay down. He totally. Murphy, you put your head down. Put your head down. Down. Murphy. Thank you. You be a good boy, okay? You sad? Oh my God, he's so funny. No, those are my pain meds. Those are not yours. No, I don't have sex. I have not had it in 4 years and 6 months. Yeah, it's been a really long time. Wait, hold on. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 7 months. I think it's 7 months. April will be 5 years. I know that much. December, January, February, March, April. Yeah, so 7 months. 4 years and 7 months. So sweet. I'm so in love with my baby. I'm visiting for Thanksgiving. Can't wait to see him. I bought a cute outfit. So what? Okay, you guys, I need your advice. What do you wear for a Thanksgiving dinner? And it's actually, I guess it's not a dinner because it's in the middle of it's like 4 p.m. It's not like it's not like 12 in the afternoon, but it's not like 7 o'clock at night. What do you wear? Like I was thinking just like kind of casual, dressy, like maybe a pair of skinny jeans with some like high like riding boots and maybe like a sweater, like a cute sweater or something like that. Like I like a larger sweater. Um, and then curling my hair probably, and then doing my makeup like I did right now. Hey, you guys need to stop it. Murphy, you're not going to get a treat if you keep acting up. I'm serious. I have to threaten them or they don't listen to me. That was so sweet. I'm so. You don't have Facebook cookies with milk? I've contemplated removing my Facebook multiple times. Just because a lot of times drama just comes off of Facebook and it is annoying and I hate drama so much. A lot of people talk, a lot of people like to start rumors, and yeah, it's just never fun. Really? You're hiding yourself? Okay. Oh, that's another thing. If you guys want to keep busy, get a dog. These guys will like keep me busy. Look, one put himself under a blanket on purpose. He threw the blanket over himself to play with his brother. You guys are silly. You know that? Murphy, can I have kisses? He's a silly dog. So, are you any of you guys married, or are you guys planning on getting married if he has a long sentence? You guys are funny. Oh, that's good for you. For me, though, I feel like that is not going to be good. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel that when you're used to, like, say you're used to visiting for like us, like 3 years, over 3 years, and you're used to contact visits, like we get a hug, we get a kiss, we get to sit right next to each other. We get to do a lot more than a lot of states let them do. But anyway, and it's like 8 or 9 hours for visiting. So we're used to that, right? And then you throw a family visit in the mix, which is what you call them in California. And I hate the word conjugal because conjugal just says sex. That's all it is. Like, and other states, when they're Murphy, you need to go out there if you're going to be loud. Sorry, guys. When you throw out the word conjugal, it just says sex. And all these other states that are trying to get family visits, they're not going to get approved for family visits if they call it conjugals, because no governor or legislation is going to approve something saying that inmates should be allowed to have sex. They want them to be, okay, that's it. Sorry, guys. You guys need to go outside. Get out of my room. Out, 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 out. I cannot do this with you in here. Oh my God. That's enough to scare people off of my channel. It's like, listen to my dogs fighting or playing. And yeah, I know California, they have a lot more strict rules with, like, I don't think you can wear jeans there. There's certain colors that you're not allowed to wear and all of that. Where the prison that my husband's at, they're actually not that really strict. Clothing wise, you can't wear camo, you can't wear cargo pants, you can't wear really short skirts or dresses or shorts, you can't wear heels over 3 inches. You can't wear like what they're wearing, which is a white t-shirt, khaki pants. You can only wear 2 rings. I mean, they've got all their stipulations. You can't wear watches at any of the Washington state prisons anymore. But anyway, okay, so about the whole family visit thing. I feel like it would be more difficult if we only have a year left or like a year and a half left once he's resentenced. I feel like I would rather wait out that year and a half and not take advantage of family visits, because I have heard other people talk about how much harder it is for them. Yeah, it's amazing for those 2 days that you have a visit with them. But once those 2 days are up and you have to leave and you're leaving them and you're not going to have another visit for like, say, 3 months or whatever, that sucks. Like, I've heard people talk about how depressed, they may get. I've heard people talk about how it'll change your life. Like I've talked to like several different women in different states about it. And I understand if you have a really long sentence wanting to do that, but if I've already gone 4.5 years being complete without sex, being completely abstinent, um, and I haven't had sex with my husband, I would much rather wait a year and not have anything. I mean, we still have letters, we still have emails, we still have phone calls, you still have normal visits, but I'm used to, you know what I mean? Like I'm used to it already. So I'd much rather our first time be when he's out and he's home than have it be like 2 days and then not see him for 3 months and it be like super depressing and, something that's really gonna like affect me emotionally. I know there's one girl, Cookies with Milk, um, she would call it kanjis all the time, and it used to annoy the crap out of me. I'd be like, "It's not a kanji." It's pretty funny though. And I try not to talk about it also just because there's a lot of women, especially in our Facebook group, there's a lot of women that don't get that. They don't have that opportunity. So I feel almost like it's like slapping them in the face, you know what I mean? Just because it is a huge difference, like for people to get those, and then the majority of people in the majority of the states don't offer it. Only 4 states offer it. So I feel it's like if some say I didn't have visits and like I had a bunch of people that were just talking about, oh my God, I get to go visit and it's so great and we got to do this and that and everything else. And like they knew that I didn't get visits. Like it almost feels like a slap in your face, I guess, if you're just constantly talking about something to somebody, knowing that they don't get that. Yeah, it it could be hard. I mean, I've gone the route of like having regular visits and I've gone the route of not being able to visit him. And it's a rough, like, I mean, the life of a prison wife is not an easy one by all means at all. It's hard, but then you learn to adjust and work around it. We have been having them for 3 years, and in the beginning, it was so hard. Yeah, I see. And you know what I mean? Like, there's a chance, like, that when he gets resentenced, which will be in the next 6 months, we just don't know when. There's a chance like they could just cut his sentence in half and he'll have time served and like be out within a week or whatever. And then there's a chance that they could say, okay, we're gonna, give you instead of 28 years, we're gonna go by these guidelines and we're gonna give you the medium guideline, which is 19 years. He'd have 3 of those years would be good time, so that'd be 16 years. He'll have 15 years in February, so that would mean he'd have 1 year left. And that year I know will go by super quick because a year is nothing. It goes by so, so fast. Um, so yeah, that's why I personally like, and I talked to another prison wife, God, maybe like 4 months ago. And she actually said that to me before I said it because she got married right after we did. And she said it to me. She was like, nope. She's like, I don't want to do anything in those dirty ass visiting rooms. She's like, I'm going to wait until he gets home. And her husband's been in for 20 something years. They've been together. They've known each other their whole lives, but they've been together, I think, like the same amount of time that we have, um, like 3.5, 4 years. But yeah, she had the same thing. She's like, nah, she's like, I'm just going to wait till he gets home. She's like, he'll be home soon. He's been in since he was a kid. He was like 16, I think, and he's like 45 or now or something like that. He's been in for a long time. You're waiting 3 years. And how long have you been together? Like, how long has he been in for? Has he been in for 3 years? But yeah, like I said, I get like if you have, a good amount of time, I get how family visits definitely would help increase, like a family bond. Um, how old are you by chance? Are you guys trying to have kids or is that something that you're not trying to do? That's why I asked how old you are. I didn't know if you were still trying to have kids or you have kids already, or like that's not something that interests you guys. Oh, and I got another Jpay message while I was talking to you guys too. Woo woo. So if you guys don't know what Jpay is, it is, I don't even know if you guys can see it with this crappy lighting, but it's this app right here. That's what it looks like when you sign into it. And so I know this is backwards, but the top one is like you can send money through that app by just clicking on it. And then it pulls up, and see how long it takes the camera to focus. It pulls up that, and it's super easy to send. You can, hold on a second. If you click on the orange one where it says email, those are all emails that I have. So that is your new one where it's lit up. These are all my emails. I got like, I was checking emails the other day and I have 82 pages of emails when I go to Jpay on my laptop. It's like almost, it's like 1,000 emails or something like that. It's pretty crazy. There's an option on here for snap and send. So you click snap and send, and then it allows you to take a picture and send it directly to them. There's one that says fund media on there. It's actually a good video to like teach people about Jpay. Fund media, and what that is for like they can get games, they can get music and that sort of thing on their JPlayer. And so you can put money on their funds, their media account to do that with. And then lastly, you have a videogram option. So you click on videograms and then it'll ask you like which contact you want to choose, and I'd choose my husband. And then it shows you like past videograms that you've sent to them or that you've recorded. Maybe you didn't send to them. And then you just like record now at the bottom. You click on that, you get 30 seconds, and it costs 5 Jpay stamps. And also, if you go to the top right there, the little 3 thing up there, click on that, and that gives you a bunch of options. So you got profile, you can order stamps through there, you can look at your transaction history through there, you can go into your account settings, you can buy a Jplayer through there, you can add or remove people from your contact list, like other inmates. I added other inmates on there that are friends with my husband that I communicate with. So you can look at your, God, what else? Settings. You can send prepaid emails. So if they don't have a stamp, it'll send a stamp to them. So, and you can also transfer stamps on there. So say I buy for $10, I get 60 stamps, which is really cheap, I know, compared to like a lot of states. But yeah, it's $10 for 60 stamps. And I can actually transfer, like I always transfer half of them to my husband. So there's an option to transfer stamps on there. And then the only other option I would talk about on there is like your payment method. So I could put like one payment method on file, and you can, you know, definitely change that payment method on there. It's like if you have a credit card that expired and you want to change it to something else. So it's a pretty cool feature. If you guys have that, you know, if you use Jpay at that prison, if they offer that, then I definitely take advantage of it. Also, you have video visits. There is a browser you can download on your phone to do video visits from your phone. My friend Heather knows the name of it. I always forget the name of the browser, but I've only done video visits through laptop or desktop. No, it was laptop. And it's super easy to do. A lot of the times it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. Just depends on the reception. You get 30 minutes where I'm at in Washington, and it used to be like $12, but now they lowered it to like $7.95, I think. So it's actually not that bad for 30 minutes to be able to visit him if you can't actually go to him. You can like at least talk and see each other on there. Sorry, cookies with milk. I'm just reading your comments. Yes, I can relate to that, but I went for it. And luckily the houses we get are so nice and clean. We've been to some nasty ones. Yeah, see, that's my problem is like Kevin is a germaphobe and I kind of am a little bit. And I just think about like all the people that we see in there and visiting and then I imagine like the fact that they've probably had sex everywhere in those trailers and then I'm just like, yeah, that kind of like kills the mood. But yeah, he's been in for 12 years. So we've been married for 3 years. Okay, so you're like kind of on the same timeline that we are. Um, Kevin's been in for 15, and we have been married for 3, and we've been together for 3.5. You're 25. Oh, you are young. So are you guys trying to have kids? I know. I wish you had Facebook because so you can get onto our support group, and then there's seriously like there's women on there like 24/7 to talk to. It's pretty cool. But you can always message me whenever if you just need somebody to talk to that can relate to you. Oh, that's okay. And my friend Josie asked if I was going to be on like streaming a long time, and I was like, probably. I said I kind of talk a lot, so I'll probably still be on for a while. So you have 3 years left. That's cool. It'll go by fast. So what do you do like to pass the time? Are you working? Are you going to school? Are you doing both? Are you doing neither? And so what's up with your family? Like, how do you how have you gotten away with keeping the fact that your husband is incarcerated from your family? Like, do they like not know that you're even married? You keep that a secret completely? You do not want to get married yet? How much time do you have left, woman of the past? I know you told me up here. I just have to scroll up. We are going to wait 1 more year until I'm done with school. Oh yeah, see that's smart to have kids. That's totally smart. That's kind of like I guess what our situation is because I don't have kids and he doesn't have kids. And we've been talking about it forever. Like we want either 2 or 3, probably 3. But obviously like I'm older, but I guess it's kind of like the new thing is like people waiting to have kids until they're older. Um if he only has a couple years left, I'll be 40 by the time that he gets out. And then we're gonna start trying like as soon as possible, which is awesome. I mean, there's always the chance that like I'll have twins because it's more common to have multiples the older you are. Um, so yes, but by that time as well, like I should be finished with school or close to finished because I am going for my bachelor's right now, and I have like oh, that's my husband. It's calling super early. All right, guys, I'm going to end this, but if I don't come back today, I'll try and do another stream this week. Okay, love you guys. Bye.